So UI pages are web pages, guys. UI pages are web pages which are built using HTML, CSS. Okay. I'll show you how exactly the UI pages look like. If you go to the problem record, problem form, once you create the problem, so there you will be able to see SS button. Whenever I click on this button, it is calling the UI page. So this is how the UI page look like. We have to construct this UI page. Guys, UI pages is little more tricky topic. UI pages is little more tricky topic. Okay. So once I assign this to a problem analyzers group, it will automatically go to SS state. So here, once I click on the cancel button, you are able to see the UI page. This is called UI page. Once I click on mark as duplicate, it will show UI page. This is also a UI page. So we have to construct these UI pages first. Okay. So if you go to the HR case form, so once you create the record, once you create the record, okay. So once I click on resolve button, what is it happening? It is showing the resolution code and node. Instead of this error message, I want to show UI page. So once I click on close button, it is telling, what is it telling? Additional comments are mandatory. Instead of additional comments, mandatory error message, I want to show a UI page. Okay. So first of all, whenever I click on this close button, it is showing an error message, right? In place of this error message, I want to call a UI page. So for that, I'm creating a UI page, guys. Okay. So HR underscore case underscore additional comments. Just creating a UI page. So select SNC read only here. I'm creating a UI page here. Okay. So here you can write HTML here. You can write HTML here. So I'm just writing label tag here. Hmm? Text area tag. So I'm creating a button here. This button name I am giving here as close. This label name I am giving here as additional comments. Okay. So let me just save this one. I have created a UI page. Let me click on try it here. So this is how additional comments will look like. Okay, this button, close button. So instead of the error message, whenever I click on this button, instead of this error message, I want to call this UI page. So for that, what I am doing is I am going to the UI action, right click, configure, go to UI action. So in place of this error message, okay. So you have to use glide model API equal to new glide model UI page name. So what is the UI page? Where is that UI page? Take this UI page. You call this UI page here and gm dot render. So the additional comments are not filled in. It will show the UI page. Let me just refresh this one. Just clicking on close here. You can see here it is UI page. I'm just giving the title here. GM dot is add additional comment. So let me just refresh this one. Whenever I click on this button, instead of error message, it is showing the UI page. So I created a UI page. So I created this particular UI page. I called this UI page in the UI action using glide model API. Using glide model API, you can call the UI page, guys. So this UI page I called. Okay. So whenever I click on this button, it will actually call the UI page. So here you have to enter the additional comments here. Whatever the additional comments that you added here, after clicking on close button, those additional comments should be added here to the record. Those additional comments should be added here. Getting my point? For that, what I have to do is, so here after clicking on this button, so after clicking on this close button, something should happen, right? After clicking on this button, this additional comment should go to this particular record. For that, I am writing a on click function here. On click is equal to add additional comments. This will call this function. This function you have to write a client script. In the UI pages, you have client scripts. Okay. This client script, in this client script, I have to do one thing. I have to check additional comments are provided or not. If the additional comments are not provided, we have to stop the submission. So here, guys, so here in the text area we are entering, right? We have to take that value. That is why I'm giving the ID to this one. .com. Okay. So I will take the additional comments value. We'll take the additional comments value. Okay, just a moment, guys. Okay. So I gave the ID here. ID here, okay. Where additional comments is equal to gel dot value. Okay, I'm taking the additional comments value. If com equal to empty, write an alert. Return false. If it is not empty, if it is not empty, just a moment here. If it is not empty, if the additional comments are provided, I have to pass it to the record, right? So from here, I am writing glide ajax here. So if you have to write glide ajax, there must be a script include, right? There must be a script include, right? Already, I'm opening the already created script include. Here I am calling the method. U underscore HR underscore case. This param underscore case ID. Gr dot U underscore additional comments is equal to this dot get parameter gr dot update where is updated okay. So then what I will do, I'll call this script include in the UI page. RGA is equal to new glide ajax script include name. G underscore form dot add information message. Case closed. Successfully. And here you have to keep the okay. You have to close the UI page. To close the UI page, you will use glide dialog window dot destroy. Okay, here you are not passing the values right here. It should be the method name. You have to define two custom parameters here, right? This is actually one parameter. The another one is add com. Okay, this one will be add com. This one. So here case ID will be P underscore form dot unique value. Okay. So just to save this one. Now you go to the form and refresh this one. Whenever you click on the close button, so you are able to enter the additional comments here. Once you click on close, what happens is that once you click on close, so what is it telling? Case closed successfully, data policy exception. Why this data policy exception is coming? Okay, when the state is closed, we must provide the resolution code nodes. We'll deactivate the data policy. Right click, configure, go to data policy. We'll deactivate this data policy. Okay. I'm clicking on close here. I'm entering the value here. So if I don't enter the value, if I click on close, what is it telling? Additional comments are mandatory. So you will enter the additional comments here and you will click on close here. Whenever you click on close, okay, whenever you click on close, what will happen is that it will keep the, it is telling case closed successfully. It is keeping the state as closed. You can see additional comments are updated here. So instead of showing the error message, what we are doing, we are calling the UI page. Okay, we are calling the UI page. Okay. Okay. So here what we have done first of all, we created a UI page, guys. Okay, first we created a UI page. In the UI page, we created a button called close button. Whenever I click on that button, it is calling this function. In this function, we are taking the additional comments value. We are taking the additional comments value here. If that is empty, we are showing this message. If that is not empty, we are calling the script include. We are calling this method. Inside this method, I am passing the additional comments. I am passing the case system ID. Okay. So using that case system ID, I am querying the HR case. I am updating the additional comments and I am marking the state as closed. So whenever it is actually closed, we are getting the response as true. If it is true, what I am doing, I am showing a message, field message closed, is closed successfully. and we are hiding the UI page. Getting my point? So whenever you click on this button, it will call the UI page, guys. Here you will enter some value here. Whatever the value that you entered here, after clicking on close, so it is showing the message case closed successfully. It is updating the additional comments here. Getting my point? So similarly, whenever you click on resolve, what is it doing? It is showing the error message. Instead of error message, I want to show, okay. Instead of error message, I want to show a UI page. Okay. Guys, an emergency call, guys. Give me 2 minutes, okay? Okay. So whenever you click on this button, what is happening? It is actually showing the resolution code and notes mandatory. Instead of this error message, I want to show a UI page. So what I'm doing is, in our case, resolve comment. Okay. So here we are showing only one label, right? I want to show two labels here. This is actually resolution code. This is actually resolution node. Okay. Here, this is not a, I'm giving R node here, R nodes. This one, R code I am giving here. So this one is not a text area. This is actually a select box. So in the select box, we have to add the choices. These choices should be same as these choices. These choices should be same as these choices. Okay. Resolution code choices. Okay. Uh, value is equal to empty. These choice values and HR case choice values should be same, guys. Okay. Okay. I have created another UI page, guys. I have created another UI page. In the another UI page, I am actually showing resolution code, resolution node. Okay, whenever you click on this resolve button, it will call this particular function. Inside this function, I have to take resolution code, R code, because here we have given ID as R code. ID we have given as R code. Here we have given ID as R node. Resolution code, R node. Okay. Okay. So in the script include, we'll create another method. Okay. Here it should be 6. Okay. So what am I doing here? I am calling this particular method here. So I have to create 3 parameters here, 3 custom parameters. So this param R code, this param R note. Okay, sysparam R code, sysparam R note. So here it should be resolution code, resolution note. Okay, case resolved successfully. No difference. So now I am going to the HR case form here. So whenever I click on resolve button, okay, we didn't call that, right? We'll go to resolve UI action. UI page name. GM dot set title. So whenever I click on resolve button, you can see you are able to select a resolution code here and you are able to select resolution notes here. If you don't provide them, if you don't provide them, if you click on directly resolve, so it is showing an error message. Resolution code or code or notes are mandatory. So whenever you select the resolution code, whenever you enter the resolution notes, and click on resolve here, what is it telling? Case resolved successfully. You can see the resolution code and notes are updated here successfully. Getting my point? So instead of showing the error message, what are we doing? We are just calling the UI page. From the UI page, we are actually calling the glide ajax. Guys, here these IDs are very important. If you are able to understand these IDs, so ID is nothing but, let me just show you. So whenever you click on resolve here, whenever you click on resolve here, so it is taking the, it is showing the UI, resolution code and resolution notes, right? So here to take this particular resolution code value, you need ID. Whatever the value that you selected, right? To take that value, we need ID. So whatever the value that we entered, we need ID. For that, we have actually taken two IDs, R code and R notes. These two are important here. So using that R code and R notes, I am taking the values here. Using that R code and R notes, I am taking the values here. If those are empty, we are showing the error message and we are stopping the form submission. Those fields are not empty. We are actually calling the script include. To the script include, I am passing the R code and R node. I am also passing the current system ID, current record system ID. Then I am actually querying the HR cases with the current system ID. I am updating the resolution code and resolution nodes there, and I am marking the state as resolved. Okay. So here it is showing case resolved successfully. Okay. Okay. You understand, right? So likewise, instead of showing the error messages, we can directly call the UI page. In the UI page, you show them, you provide them an option to select the values there itself in the UI page. So what am I doing here? So instead of showing the error message, I am actually showing an option to select those values directly from the UI page. If you go to the problem form, problem record, I am clicking on cancel here. So it is showing the UI page. Whenever I enter something here, you click on OK, the cancel value will come to the cancel reason here. Scroll down. The cancel reason, whatever the value that we entered is updated here or not. From the UI page, we are updating that value here. So similarly, whenever I clicked on resolve here, whenever I select the resolution code and resolution nodes, whenever I click on resolve, it is actually resolving the HR case, right? So that is how you will call the UI pages. See, first of all, you created a UI action, client side UI action, and you called the UI page. Through the UI page, you are able to select the value. And whenever you click on the button on the UI page, it is actually calling the client script. Inside the client script, you are calling the script include. In the script include, you are updating the record. First, from the beginning, if we discuss, we created a UI action. In the UI action, you called the UI page. In the UI page, you created two fields. After that, you are clicking on button. Once you click on resolve button, so it is calling a function. So this function is being called. In this function, we are actually selecting two values. If those two values are empty, we are showing the error message. If those fields are not empty, we are actually passing them to script include and we are updating them. Okay. You understand, right? The UI pages concept. UI pages looks interesting, but it is difficult. Okay. You guys are clear, right? Shall we continue the topic or shall we discuss UI macros concept in tomorrow session? So I am giving you a task here, guys. So whenever I click on hold state, it is showing the error message, right? Instead of error message, I want you guys to create a UI page and call that UI page. So whenever you provide the additional comments, whenever you provide the on hold reason and click on that button, state should go to on hold. And the on hold reason should go to this particular field. Getting my point? So that is the task that I am giving you guys. I am unmuting everyone. I am unmuting everyone. Do you understand this concept? Hello. Guys, why there is no response? You didn't understand? Mm, you want me to explain one more time? You want me to explain one more time, guys? Okay. So I'm creating another UI page here. I'm creating another UI page that is actually UI on hold. Okay, on hold. So here, what am I doing is I'm just creating just two labels, one label, one text area. That is actually on hold reason. On hold reason. Okay. O reason. I'm giving O reason. ID of this one I'm actually giving on hold reason. I'm just giving the function name as cold case. Okay. On hold reason. On hold reason. Okay. On hold reason equal to empty. On hold reason is mandatory. Okay. So I'm going to the script include. I'm creating a function. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take this particular UI page name. I'm going to the UI action. On hold UI action. Okay. So whenever you click on this button, if the on hold reason is not provided, it will actually call the UI page. Going to the HR case form, refresh this one. So whenever you click on this button, if this field value is not filled in, it will actually call the UI page on hold reason. Okay, we'll change the button name here to on hold. So if this field value is not filled in, whenever you click on this button, if this field value is not filled in, it will call the UI page. Okay. So if you don't provide them, it will show an error message. On hold reason is mandatory. You provide the on hold reason here. Whenever you click on this button, so case is kept on hold successfully. You can see on hold reason is entered here. And state value is kept as on hold. So whenever you click on this button, if this field value is empty, if the field value is empty, it will call the UI page. So that is actually this one. We are calling the UI page. This is the UI page name. Using glide model, we are calling the UI page. So in this UI page, what are we doing? We are taking the reason. If the reason is empty, if the reason equal to empty, show the alert message. Stop the form submission. If the field value is kept on hold reason, field value is kept. We are calling the script include. Inside the script include, we are calling this method. Inside that method, we are passing the on hold reason and system ID of the case record. Okay. So using the system ID of the case record, I am querying the case table, HR case table. And I'm actually updating the on hold reason here and marking the state as on hold. Okay. You can see here whatever the value that I entered, whenever I click on hold. Okay. Case is kept on hold state. So likewise, we will create the UI page. We will call that UI page in the anywhere in the client side script using glide model API. Okay. Clear, right? Vamsi, are you clear now?
Yes, so flow I am able.
So that is how UI pages work, guys. Okay. So in tomorrow's session, we'll be discussing UI macros topic. So next Monday onwards, I would request you to join at 6 p.m. guys. Next Monday onwards, I would request you to join from 6 p.m. Okay. So I would request you to practice it thoroughly, guys. Okay. Okay, guys. Then see you there in tomorrow's session. Thank you all.
Yeah, thanks a lot.